And can you all introduce yourself and tell us your roles?
Alycia Debnam-Carey playing Alicia Clark.
Michael Satrazumas, producer-director.
Maggie Grace, Althea.
What was that?
Good delivery. But read that one.
So what is Alicia up to in this new crazy season? That trailer looks insane.
Yeah.
And it looks, I saw you got your signature weapon out.
I know.
Yeah.
She levels up. That's what happens. Character level up.
Yeah.
She's been through so much loss in season 4, and she's now completely on her own. She's the only person in her family remaining, and that's had a huge effect on her. It's something that hasn't been resolved. Something she's struggling to work through and how to move forward. It becomes as much of a, she becomes like a protector for the group, because I think that's the only thing she knows how to do. That she thinks that's where she'll put all her energy, probably because she's terrified of losing again, but also getting too close to people, and that's this sort of another part of the journey that starts to happen, where it's much more emotional, mental journey of, is she able to let people in again? Is there more to life than just this? Can you begin to trust, I guess, in something bigger and better than what's right here, right now? Yeah.
Fans are asking, is there going to be an Alicia-centric episode this season?
There's not so much yet, but there are definitely episodes that are, there's not in the same way like 410, where that was definitely like a bottleneck episode, but there are definitely episodes where she's, working through some of those things more heavily. But not yet. I can't speak for that.
I'm not going to say anything.
I wish you even said that. You can't.
All I'm trying to think about is how to not say anything.
Now, I'm sorry, go on.
No.
Oh, sorry. With the deaths of Alicia's mother and brother, where does she continue to draw her strength from?
Drugs mostly.
Those are brothers things.
Drugs mostly.
Drugs.
Mostly drugs.
Some rights. She
Kids don't
I
do
think
that.
her mother's
Stay at school.
message is really ringing clear of that, no one's gone until they're gone. This thing of her just trying to build a community like her mother had, trying to fulfill her mother's wish. That's still a real striking a chord with her. But she's really struggling to ground that, and I think it's Morgan as a character who's trying to bring her out to see that there is more, and that it can be about reaching out to other people, and that there is hope beyond just keeping people physically safe. So it's different. There's a lot of layers of her interpreting how to be strong. There's this element of her being able to, I'm going to be strong, I'm going to be the warrior, the attack dog, I'll keep everyone safe. But what she's just really doing is avoiding really connecting to anyone. So it's a strength over a weakness that's probably got an inner strength underneath all of that. Do you know what I mean? It's a very layered question.
She's like an M&M in the sun. It's a hard candy shell.
What is it? I'm like an enigma wrapped in a
M&M.
enigma wrapped in a mystery wrapped in a ton of cash. What is it?
I like that.
I think you made that last part up.
Yeah, that's pretty good though.
What's going on with
An ongoing history.
what's going on with Grace this season? Because she was starting to form friendships and bonds with the characters last season, but barely, because she was very much I'm behind the camera, you guys are my subjects, I don't really connect with you. But then those connections started happening kind of against her will.
Yeah.
How does that moving forward this season?
Dragged kicking and screaming towards community. I think she finds a much more direct sense of meaning in using the tapes to
get to people that need help and potentially build a community around Morgan's philosophies. But I think what's most excited me, Maggie, this season is we're thrust into contact with a much wider world, like a new part of the Walking Dead universe, which is really exciting.
Is there any character that you've kind of bonded with in the group? Because usually there's always yes, you're not going to expand, just yes.
Bonded with so hard.
Bonded.
Well, you mentioned kicking and screaming, and we see in the trailer that there is a bit where you look like you're knocked out and being dragged somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You expand on
There is that.
There is that.
Well, I can, because there was this sort of dragging machine where my hands were bound, my legs were bound to the bar, and then as the dolly moves, it drags me with it.
Just tied her
with
to the
camera.
dolly.
Basically, I'm just
Seriously, I
bound
did.
to the dolly,
Just put a little
and we
bar
just
up,
do that down a
tied her
couple
feet to the dolly
rocky
and
hills.
drag her.
Wow.
I don't know what I ever did to Mikey,
Yeah.
That
but
does
no,
sound like something like
it was a
She
cool
may
shot.
or may not have just been sleeping.
They give me a couple Ambien, tie me the dolly. This is how bad things happen. Right.
Back to drugs again.
No, we're jacked.
That's not the running theme. Yeah. It's not a running
But
theme
no,
in any way, shape,
yeah,
or
it was,
form.
Roundtable needs a
it was a really cool shot
Yeah.
that Mikey came up with that I was happy to do, and no Ambien was involved.
Yes, good stuff.
I was actually
This
unconscious.
is either great or really
They just
horrible, I
knocked
don't
me
know.
unconscious
Can't
and
tell.
started dragging me around set. It was crazy.
It was just easy for
It was a practical joke that made it into the trailer.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
It had nothing to do with the show at all.
else ask a question?
You just passed out and gone to
So what
sleep.
you're saying is the trailer was the blooper reel?
Yeah, some of it.
And there's a great contest that goes on with Alex in our props department. Because in the trailer, you can see that I'm doing this, like to get out of my hands.
Or trying
being-
to fight the...
So actually, what kept happening is whenever they had the stunt ones, like I'd have to do such crazy things that they'd break. So we started actually binding them, like as if you really,
Finding your wrist properly.
yeah, like properly, but like
Yeah.
the way, you know. And I was able to
Doesn't
get
matter
out
how
of
many
it
times
3
she's been
times
sick.
in a row on camera with
Yeah.
my teeth.
Like a
Yeah.
Houdini.
So
Good
can you
teeth.
please
that part in
time
the
tighter?
trailer.
If she's going to break
So
out
it
every
was
time,
like
it has to be real.
Maggie 3, props 0.
Pretty cool.
So, what are you trying to do to increase the intensity of the suspense and just interact with zombies this season? You're trying to one-up yourself?
Well, yeah, I mean, you always have to, don't you? I mean, otherwise there's no reason to be here. It's exhausting trying to do that, you know, this many seasons in, especially being that I started on the other side.
So you've done how many so far?
How many
Total.
episodes?
No, how many seasons of The
Oh,
Walking
well,
Dead
nine
universe?
nine. The other
Including
side, nine. Well,
both
yeah.
shows.
I'm not adding them together. Oh my
It's a lot of
It's like feels like cheated math.
It's the best
No,
kind.
we're always trying to up them, you know, and trying to continue to make them scary and life threatening, and you know, because for a while I think on the other show we had made them easier to kill, and you know, and I think the guys so far this season have really kind of upped the ante. They're both shows, but particularly this one. But I think, you know, the stories are more about the internal stories, saving people right now. I mean, the walkers are there.
Because the reason I asked is on the Walking Dead, I guess in the season 9 finale.
Yeah. No, not the finale.
Okay,
No.
never
No
mind.
spoiling for finale. That's tonight, man.
Oh, yeah, wow, you were gonna mess up. Yeah, that's good.
Why don't you
It's
just
nice
ruin
when
the new Game of
it's
Thrones
nice when the
season
table
2?
turns a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, people are going to go flying across the table.
There are some walkers that
Riot
have
at
never
table
been
number
seen
8.
in the universe before. I don't think they're in the trailer. There's some walkers that have never been seen before in the universe. They're super gnarly.
There are.
Yeah.
You get a load. You get a
Just
load.
when you
get a
think
load
there
of
couldn't be new kinds of
walkers
walkers.
straight away.
Yeah, they always find ways.
Greg Nicotero.
Yeah, I don't know actually how he's done that. I would have thought.
Question,
we'd run
what's
out.
up with the cat?
Everything.
I'm sad I didn't get
Well,
to watch it.
the cat's leading the group now.
The cat's the new star of the
Oh, sorry,
show.
that's the back half.
He's the best actor on the show.
I was like, you guys saw Miss Captain Marvel and were like, we want Goose.
Oh, really? I haven't seen Captain Marvel.
Yes, she has a cat.
Does it look
Goose.
like...
It looks exactly like your cat.
Really?
actually. Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh, God.
we'll dye it. When we get back, I'll
Now
paint
It's
that
okay
cat.
because that cat's an alien. It can
okay.
kill people. It's pretty awesome.
Damn it,
Oh.
they've got an alien cat. What are we going to do?
Zombie cat.
Yeah.
Who knows? You'll have a zombie cat. Right in a zombie cat.
See, our team was way more entertaining.
I mean, what rules
Kind of.
of the universe? We work so hard to establish
It
the
is. I
rules
like
of
this
this
one.
world, and then we'll just toss them out to
Oh yeah,
compete
no,
with the
toss them
Marvel
out, break
cat.
them.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
There are no zombie animals. Wait a minute.
No, imagine
Zombie
how
aliens.
impossible that would be to shoot.
A zombie cat.
Yeah.
So
The contacts in the
we
cat.
need this cat to walk really
Why is it? Yeah. Why? Yeah,
That,
exactly.
that cat walks on
Listen.
water around this cat.
You act like
it
you're
is-
still
it's
alive.
a miraculous cat.
That sounds amazing.
But you
It's
seriously
incredible.
can't hit anything about the cat?
It's the best actor on the show. I feel like that's a big declaration, and it's incredibly talented.
Next time you have to bring the cat to walk.
The cat's actually pretty good. You know, you normally get nervous about the animals, and especially cats because they don't really care.
I know they
It
did
has the
like
biggest
dogs.
trailer. It gets portal to portal turnaround. It sleeps 8 hours a night.
All it was is just they looked at a couple of
It gets
photos.
ahi grade tuna on command.
Brilliant.
I am jealous.
Auditioning sounds more fun.
I know, auditioning a cat, I was like,
Okay, we got to ask a real question.
yeah, we should.
Yeah.
I was wondering because you've obviously got, you've got the walkers versus the elements. You had a hurricane previously, that kind of thing. So which is the bigger sort of peril for the cast this season? The elements or the
Well, it wouldn't be. I would say it's neither. It's kind of the internal struggle for each character. You know, while trying to save people and have kind of a higher purpose and then process everything they're doing and living together and last season was pretty brutal for everyone. And everyone has a lot to process and a lot to get over. You know,
The environment's not exactly doing us
I was
any
gonna
favors.
say, yeah, like, hang on a second. The environment's not exactly just peachy keen.
well, that's just Austin in general.
No, have you been working on
We
the
could
show?
all die imminently in a brand new way. It's doing its level best to kill us.
There are a couple of like environmental factors happening.
But I wouldn't say it outweighs.
It's not like a hurricane. It's more that we find ourselves in an environment that is,
Uncharted.
yes, no, that's a good way to put it. Uncharted and unknown and quite unpredictable. For many reasons of which we cannot disclose.
Everyone
They
dies.
won't even tell us. It's like they're in Texas somewhere. Like I was like, what?
Yeah.
All right.
Is there a lot of story elements to moving around so much this season?
Is there a story?
Are you guys moving around so much? Will that affect the story a little?
Yeah, using Now's tapes to try to save people is going to keep them on the move, you know? Maybe
It's
I
more like a
think-
roadshow attempt.
We could say the same thing about Star Trek, dude. I mean, it's the
Wagon
covered
train in
wagon.
space.
Yes! Yes! That was my favorite pitch of all time. They're like, you know how Bonanza's really popular? Well, we've got this idea. It's kind of a wagon train, but it's in space. That's how they pitched Star Trek. Sorry. I digress.
You're talking to the right audience. It's fine.
Yeah.
Saying, moving around isn't the worst.
Thank you. She's wrapping
Thank you.
us.